Welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show that sorts the facts from the fibs. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a TV presenter who effortlessly mixes brains and beauty, like a sort of female Rob Brydon. It's Carol Vorderman. And a comedian from Wales, so like all Welshmen, he's just happy to be indoors and out of the rain. It's Rhod Gilbert. Mack's team tonight, an interior designer who was recently hired by the Beckhams. It was an easy job. Victoria has a tiny interior and David hasn't got much upstairs. It's Kelly Hoppen! And the thinking woman's comedian. If that woman is thinking, God, what was I thinking? It's Hal Cruttenden! We begin, of course, with round one. It's Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. And it's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Kelly, you're first.
OK. Rather than use a flannel or a sponge, I wash with an orange.
David's team, what do you think?
How do you use the orange?
Well, I mean, you know, citrus fruits are...
Instinctively, I think Carol doesn't believe it.
I don't know, she's completely...
Look, I mean, citrus fruits are known to be very good for your skin. So if you cut an orange in half and you use it on your face, the citrus goes into your pores.
You use both halves like that?
Absolutely.
Saves time, that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Then you wash it off with water, just with your hands, and then the best bit is to then take the other side of the orange and buff your skin.
Oh. I'll tell you what, this is a northern man's nightmare, washing and fruit.
I mean, I'm 73, and honestly, it's fantastic, and you smell so fabulous.
Can I come over and have a smell? Oh, the old Welsh chat-up line, right? I should be able to smell it, yeah? I should be able to smell... The best evidence, of course, is before she started doing this, she used to have black hair. Yeah. I didn't smell any orange.
Did you not?
No.
You told me earlier today that you had a stinking cold.
Yeah. I have got a stinking cold.
Well,
so
there you go.
I didn't realise you had a blocked nose. Allow me. Orange.
There are so many exfoliating creams that have orange or citrus in.
None of them are an actual orange, though. You know, I've seen shampoos with coconut in, but I've never actually washed my hair just with a coconut.
That would be exfoliating, though, wouldn't it? The outside of a coconut. You could
no question.
You could absolutely, you could draw blood with that. My question here, what you're going to get, then, is orange juice on your face. But I would say if I dirtied my face with orange juice, I would need something like soap in order to wash the orange juice properly off. Otherwise, I'd be going out into the world, essentially, with a soft drink on my face.
OK. Does this ring any bells with you, Carol?
No, I know, obviously, there are things where you know, that things are scented with citrus oils and all of that kind of thing. Never heard of oranges.
Carol, cut to the chase. A wet orange peel is no exfoliator.
No. It's not.
I would live and die by that statement.
Yeah.
You know, what it does is it gets all the...
No, it doesn't.
It does.
So we think it's a lie?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
think,
absolutely.
OK, you're going to say lie. Kelly Hoppen, were you telling the truth then? Or were you telling a lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Kelly doesn't wash with an orange rather than a flannel or a sponge. Rhod Gilbert, your turn.
Oh. I once had a holiday in a Frenchman's garage. Can I check if this is a euphemism? Seriously, how old were you, roughly? I don't mean go, 17. 38? 30... Oh, this is quite recently.
Would it happened?
Yeah.
So you're 38, right?
Yeah.
You're in France. Where was the garage?
France.
Whereabouts in France?
Northern France.
Whereabouts in northern France?
Brittany.
In Britain. So you ended up in Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Southern Brittany. And
The
you
northern end of southern Britain.
Oh, that's just south of mid-Brittany, isn't it?
Mid-Brittany.
Yeah.
What's the name of the town that you're in? Were you in
The
a town?
town where I stayed in the Frenchman's garage.
was...
Van.
You're in the van in the garage?
The town...
Is this how this mix-up happened? I want a holiday in a van.
Rhod, let me speak to you as another Welshman. Maybe he'll understand me.
Ask me a nice specific question.
Did you book a holiday in a Frenchman's garage?
No, I once had a holiday.
When you arrived in the village or town called Van...
A van, yeah?
Did you already know you will be staying in a garage?
No.
Were all the hotels booked?
No. We thought it looked nice in the brochure.
Who did?
Me and my partner.
Partner?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Now wife.
Blimey, that was a quick 10 seconds.
OK. So you were going to Van...
We went to Van.
Right.
Went to a tourist information place to...
Because you hadn't booked anywhere?
We hadn't booked anywhere.
I'm with you.
Right. What happens at the tourist information place?
They said, what about this place? And we said, that looks nice.
Lovely.
It's a house with a nice
Good.
pool.
Love it.
Looked nice in the picture.
Yeah.
So we went there.
So you got there.
Booked it.
And when you got there...
It was a garage. The house was nice, but we were in the garage.
Was the garage decked out to look like a room, or was it just spanners and...
It looked like a room with a canoe on the side and a fuse box.
Am I old before my time? But
Yes.
At 38, you don't go on a crazy, we're not going to book where we're going. At 38, you want to know where you're going. We've got this nice,
I'm with you,
comfy
Hal.
room. You know, if it is true, you totally deserve what happened to you.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it.
So you like the sort of... It was a deliberate rough
No, it was a
and tough
disaster.
How long did you stay for in the garage?
2 weeks.
You stayed for 2 weeks? How much did you pay?
It was very reasonable.
I'm surprised. Did it have any windows in the garage?
No.
And you said there was a swimming pool?
Yeah, they had a swimming pool.
You were allowed to use it?
No.
I can't help thinking that what you're describing is more of a hostage scenario. And what about Mrs. Gilbert? She wasn't Mrs. Gilbert then, but how did she react? Because she's looking at you, Rhod, the tall, strapping, handsome Welshman, what everyone dreams of. And you've whisked her there. Was there not a little part of her that died that day when she saw what you expected her to
She
put up
wasn't
with?
very well, if I remember rightly.
Was it carbon monoxide or exhaust fumes? All right, Lee, it's a complex tale. What do your team think?
Absolute lie.
Used a lie?
Absolutely.
Really? Mm-hmm. Based on just the floundering?
Absolutely everything.
Like what? All right, it did have windows.
What are you thinking, Hal?
It's like he's throwing in things that seem so ridiculous. And
No, but nobody would go and stay in a garage without windows.
But I think
They
he's
wouldn't.
thrown
You're
things
Kelly
like...
Hoppen, though, Kelly. He's Rhod Gilbert. OK, what's it going to be, Lee? Truth or lie?
Lie.
Lie?
Lie.
Lie. I think it's true, but I'll go with my team and say it's a lie.
You're going to say
Well,
lie.
I guess.
OK, Rhod. Garage holiday in France. Truth
Garage
or lie?
holiday in the Frenchman's garage in Van. True.
Yes, it was all true. Rhod did once have a holiday in a Frenchman's garage. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Gary. So, Kelly, what is Gary to you?
This is Gary, and he's a feng shui expert. And in order to improve the flow, the energy flow in my home, he advised me to get rid of my cat litter tray.
How do you know Gary?
Well, this is Gary. Last year, I kicked a football through my kitchen window, and Gary agreed to take the blame.
And Lee, your relationship with Gary?
This is Gary. Together, we were involved in a low-speed pedalo chase. when a Spaniard had nicked Gary's towel.
OK, there we have it. Kelly's feng shui friend, Hal's football fall guy, or Lee's pedalo pal. David, where do you want to start?
OK, Kelly, what was it about the cat being able to crap anywhere that would improve the feng shui of your house?
Well, no, the whole thing about feng shui is that it's all about energy lines in your home. So, for example, if you have a drain...
Like where the sockets go?
Well, no, like drains will mean... So if you, like, a drain in a home, you're losing energy. And where my litter tray was really my...
Your litter tray?
No, my cat's litter tray. You have all these areas in a home. I'm not a feng shui specialist, which is why I got Gary in. So he explained it to me, and he said, you really need to move your litter tray, because where it's placed is in your wealth corner.
When he first turned up, was his opening line, "Are you a feng shui expert?" And you said no. Did he go, "Good"?
So it was in your wealth corner?
Yes.
So it was... your cat was crapping on your money?
Yeah.
So what do you put there? If it's inappropriate for a cat litter tray...
You need to put a crystal or something that enhances the area rather than a cat litter tray where a cat is going to pee in the corner.
Well, exactly. I mean, the difference between a crystal and a cat litter tray is that one thing has a purpose and the other thing is some tat that you should throw out. What bits of the room are... I mean, there's a wealth corner. What other corners are there that you're not allowed to put anything actually useful?
Well, there's wealth and there's clarity and there's all...
Clarity is for the red wine.
Yeah.
What was anything else wrong with how you had your house?
No, actually, everything else was really good. I mean,
That was it?
No,
How much did you pay him for that?
Well, no, look,
He came in and he just moved the litter tray, but there you go. Job done. No. £8,000, please.
No.
Did he move the cat litter tray and go, "That should help the wealth corner"? Well, certainly mine, anyway.
What problems were occurring then for you to get the feng shui expert,
No,
Gary?
there wasn't any problems. I just believe in it, and I work a lot in Asia.
What was his name again?
Gary.
Oh, yeah.
I work a lot in Asia, and we use a lot of feng shui consultants when we build houses in Asia. And this is an ancient philosophy, so I can understand that you don't understand it if you haven't read about it.
Yeah.
And it is all about balancing out a home. It's like your body. If you have reflexology...
Sorry, can I just confirm to Rhod in case he's not sure? She's patronising me.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Did it seem to have any effect?
Absolutely. That particular space, it was a wealth corner, and it shouldn't have had a litter tray. It needed crystals.
So where
there.
did you put the litter tray?
I got rid of the cat.
Oh, my God.
I didn't really. I'm really joking.
I love the way the whole audience went, "Oh, my God! This is so Britain, isn't it?" Ah! There was one French person going, "That is perfectly..."
No, I didn't.
So, Hal, just say what you said again.
Last year, I kicked a football through my kitchen window, and Gary agreed to take the blame.
Hang on. You kicked a football?
Yes. It is a very, very rare event.
Hal, can I ask you how you know Gary, what the connection is?
Both our kids are at the same school.
Right.
Well, that's certainly plausible.
It is plausible.
Many schools have more than one child out.
So there you were, in the garden, playing football.
They'd come over anyway, because we're friends, and we were playing football in the garden, and my wife had already made a comment about messing about, don't break the window, and then we ended up messing about, and, yeah.
And you kicked the ball and it went through the window?
Yes.
And what did you do then? So it's the
I had a
smash, tinkle, beat.
I just went a bit, "Oh, no!"
Oh, no, my wife is going to kill me.
Honestly.
She wasn't joking on any level.
No.
This could be it for my marriage. So you said, this is terrible, she's going to be really angry. What did he say?
He offered to take the blame. He said, "I'll take the blame for it." Because he's a bit more of a sort of, what's the word, scallywag type character.
I don't understand this modern street talk. Did you say to her, "Gary's got something to say to you"? Dear, oh dear, Gary. Did you say...
No.
Darling, I said to Gary I'd take the blame, but, you know...
Right, what about Lee?
Yeah, Lee.
Can you just remind us, first of all, what was it you said?
This is Gary, and we were involved together in a low-speed pedalo chase after a Spaniard nicked Gary's towel.
Describe the scenario of the theft. Where were you and Gary, and where did the Spaniard come from?
Spain. We were on a beach.
In Spain?
Not in Spain.
So he'd come a long way, this assailant. He'd obviously heard about a valuable towel. He was an international towel thief.
Yeah. Well, any of those options, or possibly.
Yeah.
He was on holiday.
So, Lee,
That's my Chinese name.
so what happened?
I was on the beach, and we decided to go, as two young strapping men do, for a pedalo ride.
Had you known each other long by that point?
No, I was strolling lonely on the beach. And I saw a young gentleman in some tight shorts, and I thought, hello, fancy a pedalo ride? And luckily, he was available.
He's one of your old buddies, then?
Well, we were on holiday together, yeah.
So how long ago was this?
I was about 20.
And so you decided to hire a pedalo?
Yes, we decided to rent out a pedalo and go into the sea. So that's what we do. We go out onto the pedalo, and we start to pedal, and oh, it's great.
Is it this point that you saw the Spaniard?
So then we're sort of coming back to shore, right?
You've done a bit of a...
I'm literally doing the action now with my feet. I'm there.
It looks like the three of you are on jet skis from here, to be honest.
So we're pedaloing, and as we're pedaling, we see a gentleman who's renting out... He's in the process of renting out the pedalo, and we sort of see him walk back, suddenly grab Gary's towel, and he puts it on the pedalo on his girlfriend's seat, and off he goes. So what do?
You give chase.
We give chase.
So you pulled up alongside him in your pedalo,
Yeah.
and you said, excuse me.
Yeah, I wound the window down, and I said... no, I just said, excuse me.
Why didn't Gary... I realise he's mute tonight for a reason, but...
Because he was keeping his eye on the road, and I was...
So you'd say, excuse me, and he said...
So I had to do the thing of... I had to mime it. I sort of went... I said, you... yeah, and then you sort of... And then, so he sort of mimed, I'm sorry, and handed the girl to us, and we went, no. You've got it all wrong. You've got it all wrong. Anyway, that's how I met my wife, and that's the truth.
All right. So we need an answer. David's team. Is Gary Kelly's feng shui friend, Hal's football fall guy, or Lee's pedalo pal? Where do you want to start?
I'm very confused. Is feng shui... I thought it was about don't have the sofa there, move it out a bit more diagonally, and that's a bit more Chinese and cool. But I didn't think it involved crystals. I thought that was a totally different form of charlatanism. I mean, Eastern science.
We don't think it.
We don't think it.
I don't think it is.
Don't think it's Kelly.
I can't see Lee going on a holiday just with one other guy.
No, I
as well.
can't
A group
either.
of guys in their 20s, fair enough, but two 20-year-old boys?
Nah.
What about Hal?
Hal, I think that sounds very plausible.
Except the children bit.
Who's saying I don't have children?
I think Hal does have children.
You don't have children, do you, Rhod?
I don't have children.
No, 2-0.
So, what are you going to say, David?
No.
Hal. You think it's Hal?
Kelly.
You think it's Kelly now? We're going to say Hal.
You're going to say Hal?
Yeah.
OK. Gary, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Gary, and I advise Kelly.
Rhod, sorry, can I ask a question? Just before we move on too quickly, Gary, David would like to explain to you why the whole thing's a crock of rubbish.
Yes, Gary is Kelly's feng shui friend and has had to endure a dreadful 5 minutes. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Gary. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, and we start with Carol.
OK. I used to have a job in a safari park gift shop and regularly shared my bed with a lion cub.
Lee Mack's team.
What year was this? Or what rough year? I don't need the exact year.
Is that your opening question, Lee? What year was this? I don't need the exact year.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass Karen in case you said, you know, it was when I was 18 in 1642. I'd just say, give me the decade.
It was in the mid-70s.
So mid-70s, and you worked in a safari park?
I worked in a safari park gift shop.
Which safari park?
Windsor. Yeah, I lived in the safari park at the time. I lived in the safari park at the time.
You did?
With my sister.
But how could you
Whoa,
live
whoa,
in...
whoa.
And she's human.
She had a house in the safari park.
Is it because she was connected with the safari park?
Yes,
Did they build round her? Did she buy it when it was just in a field? And then one morning she was lying there and she heard this.
She lived in the safari park with her husband,
Yeah.
who
Has he got a
worked
name?
with the animals.
Has he got a name, the husband?
Francis.
Right.
He would bring home the little babies who'd been rejected by their mothers.
Don't, you're going to make me go.
So I went there one summer and there was a penguin in the bath and a lion cub in my bed. So I slept with a lion cub for the summer.
Carol, nothing happened, did it?
It did. No, it did.
Oh, God!
No, it only happened when my mum came down from Wales. And she walked into the bedroom and screamed.
I bet
as
she
she
did.
saw me in bed with a lion cub.
How big is the cub? Are we talking, like, very young? Or...
Well, when I got there, it was that big.
Oh, yeah. It was that big by the time she'd finished. Did you sleep with any other animals while you were there? That's a genuine question.
No, I had a bath with a penguin.
You didn't?
Obviously. Was he in the bath and you got in unsolicited, or...?
No, he was in the bath.
He was already in there.
cold water.
Right.
So I had to get the penguin out of the cold water. And
Did
put
you
him in the
pick up that penguin?
So what are you thinking, Lee?
I don't know. What do we think?
I think it could be true.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous, but she's so convincing.
When you say...
I wish she was on our team.
You're not...
Sorry.
So, Lee, what's it going to be? Truth or a lie?
You're
I
saying...
say it's true.
True. You're saying...
Oh, I'll go true. I'm malleable. Yeah, true.
You're saying true?
Yeah, true.
OK. Carol Vorderman. Lion cub in the bed. Truth or lie?
True.
Wow!
Yes, it's true. Carol did used to share her bed with a lion cub. Next up, it's David.
Whenever I see my postman Roy, he shouts, "Oggy, oggy, oggy," and won't move on until I have replied, "Roy, Roy, Roy."
Does he only do this when he's at your door or if you pass him in the street?
It's whenever I see him.
Whenever you see him?
Yeah. So
And-
obviously I try and avoid him.
Is he a very friendly postman?
He is friendly, but
What's his name?
His name is Oggy. No, Roy.
Talk us through the very first time this happened.
Well, he rang the doorbell because it was a recorded delivery thing.
What was it?
And what was it?
I don't know, I wasn't there. Do you remember I only sleep over Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays?
I can't remember what it was.
Right. OK. So, he's rang the doorbell, and then what happens?
I'm not in. So...
Very handy answer.
Yeah. On another occasion, with a different delivery, I am. I opened the door.
Why, is he not knocked?
Before he'd rung the bell...
Yeah.
No, or did I ring the bell?
No,
It
you
must have
didn't
been
ring
him.
No.
Before he'd rung the bell, I hadn't met him. So he rung the bell.
Yes.
Right? I answered the door.
Right, and?
You know, I signed for the thing. He says, you're off the telly, aren't you? I say, yes.
So he says, you're on the telly?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I say, oh, my God, I must be hallucinating. It seems like I'm on the doorstep. And I go, I say yes, and he goes, oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet me.
Yeah.
Great moment. Great moment. Yeah. Anyway, the next time I see him, it's out on the street.
Oh, I see. So this is a different time now completely.
Right.
Now you just bump into him.
And now he goes, initially, hello. Then he goes, oggy.
Wow.
And goes, you know, like... And I've remembered his name is Roy. I go, huh. And he says, so, Roy, he makes me, he goes, Roy, like in a questioning way.
So?
And I go, yeah, Roy.
Does he do it to everyone?
I don't think he does it to everyone. Actually, much as I'm a funny person.
Yeah.
I mean, peculiar. I don't just, you know, I'm not saying it's not up to me to say. But I'm a peculiar person in that I hate this, but I would be hurt if I thought he did it with everyone.
Tell us about the second time it happened.
I can't really remember.
You will definitely remember the second time, David. It's awkward. So that won't wash. Talk us through the second incident now.
OK. I remember it as if it were yesterday. I am walking out of the front gate.
Right.
It's quite early in the morning. He's right at the top of the road on the corner, coming round with his trolley.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'll be the postman.
Oh.
OK.
OK?
Yeah.
I'm walking.
OK.
Was that a Zimmer frame?
It's my trolley. I think you know it is.
Rob, he'd be whistling, I think.
I was about to whistle.
Now I'm coming out of the front door, slamming the front door, walking along.
Oggy! Oggy!
Roy!
Oggy!
Roy!
So, what are you thinking?
I really haven't got a clue, but I
think
suspect
it's a lie.
it's absolutely lie. It's got to be, hasn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a lie.
A lie.
OK. David, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David's postman doesn't shout oggy when he sees him. Oh, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show, and I can reveal that Lee's team have won by 3 points to 2. But it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Kelly Hoppen. Yes, Kelly Hoppen. The last time a woman deceived me that well, she had big hands and an Adam's apple. Good night.